Hello and welcome to another episode of the Invested American Podcast. Again, my host Alexander and I are here, and today we got some special opportunities for you guys to meet a man from TransAmerica, Mr. Jeremiah Tacker. Jeremiah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Outstanding. We're glad to have you here, dude. We're fired up to have you here.
Appreciate it.
There's just so much for us to talk about. I'm just going to dive right in. We don't need to do all that. So you've been working with TransAmerica for how long?
I was with them prior to when I came back, but I was with them from 07 to 17. Then I left. I came back here recently in February. So
okay.
Since February. So about 6 months or so.
About 6 months?
Yep.
Well, what'd you do before? Now, you were at TransAmerica, then you left and started your own agency. Is that right?
Correct.
Is that what you kind of did? Okay.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that. Talk about that experience with Alexander and I.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. So I learned a ton. So like I said, I was with TransAmerica from 07 to 17. I worked in a lot of different areas. Just gained some experience. I was there right out of college, which was great. Got me experience in the industry. I had no idea what insurance was. Probably, like most people say, couldn't even spell it.
Sure.
Backwards or forwards.
How old were you? So you got involved in insurance at 23, 24? Or?
Right out of school. So yeah, it was in 2007 is when I jumped in with TransAmerica. So how old was I then? Yeah, about 24 years old.
24 years old? Okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What do I got? 5 years on them?
Yeah, you say earlier the better, right? Earlier the better.
Right.
But I got started in 2007. Spent a lot of time in the processing side of things, learning new business and commissions and that.
Yeah.
And transition to sales. I really like working with agents. As I started to work with them in those sides of the business, I started to work with the agents a little bit more and wanted to learn the products. That was the biggest thing. So I jumped on the sales side and I worked with independent. I worked with career agents on that side of the business. And there's really not much that changes from either side. Really, just what they all want products. They all want to know how to sales concept. I'll do all that stuff. So. Then I jumped out in 2017, and my job was actually moved to Denver. So I left, and I was producing part-time, or running business part-time during that time as well when I got licensed in 2013.
And you're living in Iowa at the time?
And in Iowa, yes. Okay. So I licensed in 2013. So I've been in the industry for 16. I've been licensed for 10 and selling for 10. Part-time to start, and then in 2017 went full bore into selling.
Okay.
And then partnered up with an individual that owned an agency. He was getting close to retiring, kind of shutting off. It was a failing agency, so I came in, sparked some, put a little spark into it. Put a little life into it, love it. Helped grow it a little bit, and then from there it went to full-time sales and to helping agents, and that I think just helped evolve everything that I learned my 10 years at TransAmerica. Just helped that evolve even more. Just being out in the field and working with clients and that type of stuff.
Sure. So. What would you say was the trigger for you to go back? You're doing the agency thing and it's going well for you, right? So you have that understanding. So then you come back now with TransAmerica. What would you say is maybe some of the game-changing differences or things that maybe you want to just brag about, what you do and how you guys help people and separate yourselves from others maybe?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the ways reason I came back is personal reasons. They came back for family stuff, things like that. So, jumping back in, the real big thing that really motivated me to do that was about a year ago when I was at the TransAmerica convention. I heard from a lot of their leaders that are there now.
Cool.
And just how much they were engaged, how much they were focused on the life side of the business, and how much they want to just evolve into what agents want to do every day and make it easier for them to help more and more clients. So that was the biggest thing that I think brought me into, back into what could maybe potentially TransAmerica have to offer me.
Sure.
So, being back, I mean, there's, I've been able to put my input into things, which has been great. So, and leadership is willing to listen to that type of stuff. So having that type of leadership that wants to do that is excellent. So if that's part of what their any culture is for any company, that's a great thing to look for, and what we have there at TransAmerica, and just doing the stuff that we're doing. We're evolving, making things a lot easier, from underwriting to applications, all that stuff. Just a ton of stuff that we're doing and evolving in the life insurance world. It's going to make things really relevant for a lot of agents out there in the field.
Well, we're obviously real grateful that you came and spoke with our team this week and spent time with some of our agents and just, talking about the different products. Alex, you've now been in the business a little over a year. You've worked with a host of different carriers. What are you most excited about? What did we talk about today, yesterday?
Oh.
That it's really triggering you, gets you a level of excitement with TransAmerica.
It was good, Jeremiah. Obviously, we met each other at SWAT.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about the new fair crediting.
Activity credit?
Activity credit, sorry. Yeah, right. And that is such a game changer when it comes to, putting in an application for a client, because you mentioned the COPD, congestive heart failure, diabetes, everything involved with that. When you're able to put that, thing on the policy, it actually helps the client out a lot, because now we're going from graded to level, right?
Yep.
And they get protected from day one, which is so good, And obviously, you hooked me up with your seat at SWAT too, which I appreciate. That was really fun. So that experience was crazy too, bro. And but to touch on the what TransAmerica used to be doing, kind of question for you: what TransAmerica used to be doing and what they're doing now. What's the change there? Because obviously, people are a lot more pleased with the way TransAmerica changed their whole type of thing, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel like they actually recognize the change to make that change?
Well, I just think there were some things going on. And first of all, I'll go back to, I want to give back. Like people like yourself that are just in the industry. I've been in those places. That's what's helped driven me over, a 16-year career in the industry, right? So that's a big thing.
Yes,
is giving back, and mentoring, supporting, helping guys like yourself that are just getting in and want to climb and do great and do big things.
Right.
You got to start somewhere, and someone helped me. And so I love to pay that stuff back. So I was happy to do that for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, man. Dude, I was pumped for it.
I just want to add to it. I remember it was just cool because you came to me and said, hey, listen, I'm going to go tell your son he could go sit in my SWAT seat. I'm going to do this thing. You okay with that? I said, dude, he's going to be fired up about it. So just cool. That whole moment was super cool.
Yeah.
He didn't know that happened.
I didn't know.
No, it was
because
awesome.
I barely knew you. You just hooked me up with T. I was like, dude, what's going on?
That's great.
Well, talking with you two, and yes, we hadn't really engaged a whole lot, but talking with Allie and hearing what he had to say about you, and just I've heard you do some different things.
Yeah.
I can see, man, this is something that you're going to excel at. It's going to be awesome to watch you grow and to see what you are able to do in this industry, especially with your mentor like your dad, which is awesome. And then being in this office, even today, I can just feel the energy, and that type of stuff. So, and that's big. I mean, then when you have that type of support and structure, and you have someone successful in here who can show you some different things, that's big. And you got a ton of support in this office. So go kill it, and you guys feed off each other.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Sure.
So
for sure.
I know that's scary for a lot of agents that are out in the independent world too.
Sure.
I mean, talking about that because they feel like they're alone in an island, it's sad to hear that, because there's, I can look out and see there's a ton of agents right around them. It's what are they doing to engage with those guys, or get in the room, get into conferences, do those things. I mean, get out and talk to people, hold events in your community. I mean, it's all not only going to bring more clients to you and more experience, but it's also going to engage with other people that maybe you can help or that can help you too.
Right.
Because if they're feeling alone, I guarantee there's other agents out there that are feeling alone as well. So
yes, and I think that's what makes it so great that you come out here to establish relationships with people and do the training versus just you're the one that said, no, I'll come out. Like you offered that up first, versus a lot of times people are like, well, you just want to do a webinar, you just want to do a Zoom. They're trying, and how do I say, it's like they use that as like, we're technology savvy, so we'll do that, versus saying, no, that's supposed to be plan B. The technology is supposed to be plan B, like the human being is plan A.
Yes.
But we've taken it to where we're trying to spin it to where the convenience is. So no, did you just be here spending time, dinner last night, today?
It was
We're
great.
going to go bowl. We're going to do some TransAmerica bowling.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna do
Some
some
bowling.
bowling.
I'm going to tear it up on the bowling alley. But like you said, it
and by the way, as a sidebar too, I know that Brandon, who's helping us today, Theories at School, but he's helping us also record the podcast from behind the camera. He's talking smack that he's going to win tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So
he's going to tear it up.
You mentioned they got some pool tables too. So,
so if he doesn't win at bowling, maybe he can try to win a bowl, right?
Alexander and him played the other day. It didn't go
it was bad,
for
wasn't
it? It wasn't good.
But no, and that goes back. I love, being in person, you get a way better connection with
You
people.
do.
Whether it's client base, whether it's, just working in a corporate level than me being in front of agencies, it's just you get a better relationship built out of that. And so I love being in person. And yes, it's stressful on family life and things like that. But, when I took this job, my wife knew what we were getting into, what we were doing, and what kind of travel schedule and what would incorporate into that. And she knows me personally that, I'm giving that 110% all the time. Like, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to travel. I'm going to go and see people face to face. I'm going to do that stuff. Like, virtual is great, and we can do some stuff quick. We talked about maybe expanding some of the IUL stuff that you wanted to talk about into a virtual platform.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure.
That type of stuff. But there's nothing better than being with people, feeling that energy, being around them, and then being face to face and be able to be able to teach folks. So
you mentioned, Jeremiah, obviously you're giving 110%, right? So obviously any starting agent, in the insurance business, right? We all start off on we're all new. We're just trying to get our feet wet, right?
Yes.
For you, when do you feel like was the turning point in your business, whether it was 2, 3, 4, 5 years in your business where it was changing and okay, I can actually make quite a bit of money doing this, and you actually gave the 110% like you mentioned?
Yeah, so, part-time, it was not. It was more of like, hey, when do I have time to do this? When, but, I did make the time. I didn't give a full 100%, 110% effort like I probably could have, but I made the time to do it, and I seen... I'm like most people. I see what I could do, but it's like, do I want to go do
exactly
like that? I had that full-time job always there as a crutch, which is some people's problem. I'm throw that out in front. That some people's problem is they have that crutch of that job where they have that money coming in. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. But I think the first year into full-time sales, when I really said I'm going to, I don't have a job to have a paycheck coming in. What can I do if I put all my effort into this? And I gave myself, 12 months. I said, all right, I've been doing this part-time for quite some time. I'm going to set a goal and put 12 months dedication into this.
Dedication,
100%, working on weekends, taking, making all the calls I needed to make, doing all those things. And I think that's where I seen it. And I think, that's where, when I partnered up with this agency owner, that's where he saw, he saw what I was doing and it was like, hey, I'm running towards the end. This guy's just starting up. One, that's the big thing from a mentor perspective is he brought me in thinking, knowing that I could give that energy that he didn't have anymore. But he also gave me something in return. That mentorship was huge, but he helped me understand the business side of things, which I had no clue how to do.
Right.
So he helped me understand those types of things, which were big for me personally, because that's a big part of, as an independent agent, you need to be able to know how to run a business.
You do.
You need to be able to understand like what you're bringing in and what you can put out and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But also, I think the biggest thing for people listening to this today is I think the one big misconception in this industry is the fact that people think they can come in and do this working less than a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And, in that first year, I will tell you, when I went full-time first year, it wasn't 9 to 5. It was 7 to 6, 7 to 7.
Yeah.
It was weekends. It was
60-hour
weeks. It's that type of stuff. But, I saw the benefit from that. And 2-3 years down the road, then it became more of 9 to 5 or, hey, I can go on vacation.
You got the luxury to go do things.
You have that, but you have to put the time in. If you don't understand that coming out, you're already defeated. I will tell you that right now.
So good.
So well said.
Because you're gonna get swallowed up and spit out, and you can only do that so many times before you just like, all right, hang it up, and you got to go back to, full-time job, whatever you want. But that, I think, the biggest misconception, and for those listening, like to take that and be like, have that mindset right out of the gate that I need to 60-hour weeks is my minimum, in the first 12 months, 6 to 12 months, and then, then I can see where my business is and go from there. And make sure you find a good mentor. That's
important.
You can do 60-hour weeks, you can do 80-hour weeks, but if you don't have the right mentor to guide you and lead you and, share with you the stuff that they have, you need to have both those things combined.
Absolutely.
That mentality plus that mentor too. So.
I think what you're saying is spot on, and I think that's, when people watch a TikTok video or they watch a YouTube video and they're like, okay, this looks like something I can do. this will be easy.
Yeah.
There's nothing easy about it.
You'll watch the video and it'll be in there like, okay, I'm about to change this, and then you swipe to the next video and it's just already gone. The thought's already gone, right? That's really what it is.
It really is. You're exactly right, Alexander. Yeah. I agree, man. It's just that crazy. Yeah, I'd like to dive into a little bit now. You live in Iowa. You're from Iowa.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So I just want to take born and raised. Okay. So we're huge Michigan people.
Oh, man.
So we're
excited about
the season.
Okay.
And hey, real quick, I also want to make mention. Please share this with others. Like and subscribe to the show. I didn't share that earlier. As Alexander and I at the Invested American Podcast try to continue to bring out more and more new episodes and have people in the industry like this man over here to just be able to talk, share success that he's got with the company he represents, and a host of others. If you're a prospect looking for a policy, or you're somebody that's interested in the insurance industry, this podcast is definitely for you. And now we're going to talk a little smack about our Michigan boys and Coach Harbaugh. But so you were born and raised Iowa guy.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And how did you end up becoming an Iowa guy, not an Iowa State guy? How does that happen in the state of Iowa?
We just win more. I mean, Iowa just wins more.
Okay.
So, at a young age, I just who's winning more,
Okay.
and it's black and gold all day, black and gold all day.
And we're in Big 12 country. If it's still Big 12 country,
well, it may not be here in the next year or two, right?
That whole thing's weird, isn't it?
It's getting crazy.
Now Iowa State is still in the Big 12. Nothing's changed with them.
Yeah, I've always been confused why they've been in the Big 12.
They seem a little north.
Yeah.
It
doesn't really make
We'll
much
just put them in
sense.
the Big 10 and let them get trampled every year.
Oh, yeah, they would.
Trampled every year. Man, I got to tell you, I brought up the Iowa thing because, we talked about maybe the football stuff because I said that, we got to set up where Alex and I come up and see a Michigan game in Iowa. But even more than that, I want to come to a game and just be able to watch. What do they call it? The Iowa Wave, or what do they call it?
Yeah, the Wave.
Yeah, the Wave.
Yep.
Why don't you share some of that with our viewers? I just think that's just so awesome about the whole school, the stadium, where it was built, and how all that played out.
Yeah. So after the first quarter of every game, there's an Iowa Children's Hospital with kids that have been diagnosed with things like cancer and stuff at a very young age.
Yep.
And these kids have no idea what's going on. They can't comprehend this football game, but it's excellent for the parents to pick up for them. The kids loved seeing all the fans. I mean, that's a stadium of 70,000 people turn and wave to them, and everybody just showing their support for those kids.
The windows are full of people.
Oh yeah,
man.
They're full of cardboard signs. They're full of kids just loving life, and you take it from those. I mean, those kids have had some of the just some crazy things happen in their life, and they're still so positive every day. So it just gives you it gives you that energy to be like, man, every day things happen to me that get me down, and these kids are going through what they're going through, and they have smiles on their faces every day. Like, it's just a blessing to wake up and just be happy when you do that.
Yes.
Happy they're able to wake up and do that, and just and being a part of that is cool. I mean, just seeing that, it just gives you goosebumps. We've been talking about when you were talking about sharing, it gives goosebumps and stuff. So
because it's meaningful.
Man. It is.
It's super
it's so
cool.
powerful.
It is powerful.
It's very powerful.
I love it. Yeah, I just love that stuff. But okay, so in Iowa's where it's at, though. You never decided to move or wanted to try else. I know you did the Colorado thing.
Right? No, I didn't do the Colorado.
So you never moved to Colorado?
I never moved. So nope, I stayed in Iowa the whole time, and I have family there. I'm really close to my family, and want to stay that way. So it's tougher when you instead of a 2-hour drive, you have a flight or an 8-hour, 12-hour drive. So. And I wanted my kids to know who their grandparents were, who their cousins were, and things like that. So, we just made it work. And everything that I've started and done, the Lord is a big part of my life. And
I'm with you, bro.
I put everything in, Him, every day. I lean on Him to take control of everything. And He's blessed me with so much. Not having to move, not having to do different things. And in that, it just has blessed me a ton. So I'm extremely happy. I wake up every day and I give back to Him what He needs, and then, just understand that He's looking out for me every day.
Yeah,
so
true.
It is very, very, very well said.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, He's looking out for you so much that Michigan does not play Iowa this year.
It's very true. We don't play Ohio State either, so he's double looking out for me.
Wow.
So, but we did take your quarterback, which is a beautiful thing. I wish we kind of
because we got a better one.
Yeah, because we got a stable of quarterbacks.
But when you bring in the quarterbacks that you guys bring in, I mean, you guys can afford to give up one.
Yeah,
so, and we could really use one that can throw a touch pass too. So,
I'd like you to kind of share with our viewers and with Alex and I. Let's talk a little bit about. You said in getting involved in the business and stuff that having a mentor, like you really hit home on that.
Yeah.
You're making that point. What are some of the things you view? Because I'm asking you because I also have people can plug into AllieSaleh.com. I have a whole coaching program there, and I talk about the different core principles and the pillars that I have that people need to follow. And part of it is your circle of people that you surround yourself around. But you said mentor. Why don't you maybe give some shouts out to some of your early on mentors in the industry, or what were some of those things you took that you really feel like took you from this place to that place? Because of the mentorship. Who were maybe some of those people in the circle? Maybe?
Yeah, no, there's a ton. I mean, there's folks like the first guy I was underneath. His name's Eric Kestner. He works at the Strollner Agency in Cedar Rapids, where I'm from, and he was a big influence to me. I mean, that's when I was doing it part time, and that's when I wasn't giving that 110%. But he pushed me to give even more than probably what I wanted to give at times.
What does that look like? What does it look like when you got a guy who's pushing a guy, right? Because in this business, we recruit people all the time. We recruit your part-timers, we recruit your full-timers, And the part-timers are always kind of waffling. Your full-timers are still kind of sometimes waffling.
Yeah.
What did this mentor do? What did it look like for me, for Alex to listen as we also want to develop others, and we also are mentors and mentees, right? There's someone mentoring us while we're always mentoring somebody. What is that? Yeah, share some of that.
I think accountability is the biggest thing. I mean, when you have somebody that holds you accountable for something, that's probably the biggest thing that a mentor can do. And then somebody that's looking for a mentor can look for in someone. And you talk about it all the time. I think even James was talking about things like today, or maybe it wasn't James. It was I've talked to people about putting. Like when they put their workouts on Facebook, or like there's people out there doing, was it 100-day challenge or things like that. I read something the other day on Facebook where the guy was trying to do it. He's failed multiple times at it, but now he's putting it out on Facebook, and people are wondering accountability for it, right? So that's a big thing right there. I think I'll throw a shout out to Nate Offord. I think it's one of the things that he preaches. Find somebody that has what you want, and it's doing what you want to do, and follow that.
Absolutely.
Just replicate that. Why try to change the whole process, right? There's a wheel, it's already been invented. Just follow it. Just follow that path, and that's a big thing that a mentor can give to you, is not only accountability, but a structure in place. He's already done. You have this line. The insurance industry isn't a straight line to success.
No, it is.
It's ups and downs, right? So it's not a straight line to success. It's ups and downs. Yeah, we'll wrap this up. But straight line to success, ups and downs they're part of it, right? And when you have somebody that's already been through those ups and downs, that can keep you maybe from, let you experience the downs a little bit, but be there to pick you up.
Yep.
And maybe not, when you drop clear down into a dark place, that's where they might have been, but they can keep you out of that dark place and kind of allow you to witness it, to what happens, so you can overcome it. It's like when you're raising kids. You allow them to explore, to fail, and they see what failure is and how to overcome that without you being there, because you're not always going to be there.
Yes, sir.
Whether they move out of the house or whether you're no longer on this earth, you're not always going to be there. So allowing them to fail and see that is huge. But being there to pick them up and to help guide them and show them what was wrong and what they could have done right. I mean, those are big things to keep people driven in this industry.
Yeah. You mentioned, obviously, failure, right?
Correct.
New agents fail all the time, right? First year, 6 months, you're always failing, because if you're going to have to fail to win, right? If you could give a little piece of advice, obviously, to wrap up here, to a starting agent that could be struggling, that's trying to get through the mud to be successful in the business, what piece of advice could you give them?
I've been through it, even part-time, going through. I mean, there's times I didn't. I was like, screw this, man. I have full-time to listen to you and do this. It's just to keep your head up, keep battling through whatever you're going through, and this, I'll throw out to Cody Askin. So I mean, he talks about this being the most lucrative industry out there. Most millionaires, right?
It's a fact.
Most millionaires. But to understand, listen to people when they say it takes work. It takes the grind. It takes that. And to understand that, again, I think it goes back to mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a strong mentality when going into this industry. And if you don't understand, because you're not listening to a mentor or you didn't prepare yourself enough for what is to come in this, it can drag you down pretty far. Mm-hmm. So I think my best advice to anyone starting out is that everybody's been through failures. Whether it's Allie, whether it's you, whether it's myself, we've all been through the failures. This is not a straight line to success. I just talked about that. This is it's ups and downs.
Yep. And
work through those downs and enjoy the ups, man, because they're amazing when they do happen.
Yeah.
So just listen to your mentor. Make sure you have the mindset to know what this industry can do for you and what can come from those downs, what you can learn from that, and to stick with it. Do not quit when adversity hits. Yeah. And that's the strongest advice I can give.
So good.
Do not quit when that adversity hits, man.
It's like the little engine that could.
It really is.
I think I can.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, hey, I appreciate you doing the show with us today.
Appreciate it.
Love it, man.
I feel like some of the takeaways, Alexander, correct me here if I'm wrong, I feel like some of the greatest takeaways is if you're an agent that's out there in the industry and you're looking for a company that has got some incredible support, looking to go over and above, and you've got the mindset and the attitude to do what it's going to take to be successful, the highs and lows, and to use your terminology, the path to success is not a straight line.
Not even close.
So if you're looking for a path to success, we can help you here at the Invested American. And clearly with the products that TransAmerica is offering, there's a lot of great things there for everybody to utilize and build their business and have great success. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the Invested American podcast. As we continue to grow this following, please like, subscribe, and share with others, and have yourselves a great day.